Welcome to Joa Fitness Health Wellness Video Podcast, a space to ignite your day through positive conversations. We bring people that have created excellence in their life, sharing high vibration in their reawakening path.
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday to everybody. I am Joa Rivas, and I'm the host of Joa Fitness. I wanted to welcome everybody listening to this podcast for the first time. It's a podcast related to posture, related to health and wellness. And I'm here today with Amy. She is in Texas, so not too far from me. I am in Toronto. I am a yoga and Pilates teacher, and I love to connect to professionals around the world. Last time we had somebody from Singapore. We have doctors from Australia and other places. And it's super excited to get together into a community that can share positive solutions for all of us. So hi, Amy, how are you there in Texas? How is the weather?
It's going well here. Thank you for having me on, Joa. It's been fine. Went out for a run this morning and doing well.
Awesome, Ron. How is the weather there now? Is it like changing into fall?
That's still pretty hot and humid here. Right now, it was about 100 degrees over the past couple days, so I don't think we've had that quite that change yet. And I'm actually traveling, so Texas isn't my home state, so I'm just getting used to the area a little bit right now.
Oh, all right. So where are you from?
I'm from Arizona, so where it's a lot hotter there, so I'm appreciating the cooler weather here in Texas.
Oh, okay. Well, not that far. So Dr. Amy, she's actually a physical therapist, and I actually connected to her because she has a passion, the same like me, for helping others to take away meds and to find the solutions through our natural way to be, like finding solutions through movement, through breath work, and through therapies that are much less expensive and more efficient than the ones that we actually invest in many times. She is actually a founder of the Institute PABR. Tell me a little bit about the Institute. What is your biggest, your vision about the Institute that you created?
Sure, absolutely. So I have my doctorate in physical therapy, but that's not actually what I do anymore. So I help teach people how to calm down their fight or flight nervous system, that nervous system that ramps us up and gets us in that high alert mode that doesn't allow us to calm down, that doesn't allow us to sleep and digest. I help people shift into that so that their health improves and everything about them improves. Their ability to sleep, their ability to interact, their ability to have energy, to have flexibility, all of those things. And I just developed this institute called the PABR Institute. It stands for Pain Awareness Breathing Relief. And it's designed to help people all over the world do this virtually, to teach them how to calm down that nervous system so they can get out of chronic pain. They can get out of all these issues and ailments that afflict them. And we shift and transform their body, and we change how they can internally control themselves and how they react to stressful situations.
Wow. Okay. So one more time, can you tell me the acronym was?
Sure. Pain Awareness Breathing Relief.
Oh, nice. Okay. So pain is kind of what it gives you the red flag. Something's happening. There is a pain. Then the awareness, right? Becoming aware through our breath.
It's any type of pain. It's mental, emotional, spiritual, intellectual, physical. So, and then the awareness part of it is actually becoming aware of, one, how much you hold your breath, but two, how you hold tension in your body that's creating health crises, and also how to release stored tension, stored emotions that are in your body so that you can become aware of how to activate other muscles to stabilize you, to give you that free flowing body. And then we also so we're becoming aware of our body position, but also we're using breathing, that's the B, to help us relieve the nervous system to get to R, which is relief.
So this one, when was it founded?
I founded it at the end of 2018. And when I came back from a worldwide trip I was traveling from the Arctic to the Antarctic with a photographer who had hired me to keep him out of a rotator cuff surgery and a knee replacement surgery. So once I was done with that, I decided to start my own business.
Okay. And you do most of the consultations online?
I do it online because it's actually more effective online to help someone learn how to change themselves and we record everything, and then I give them a recording so they know exactly how to practice what to do, because as I'm going through this process with someone, I'm coaching them. So I'm constantly saying chest down, ribs down, belly out, and I'm going through this process of breathing, but also we're working on different positions and how they learn how to use their arms and legs without being dominant on the back anymore, which kicks in the fight or flight mode. So it's all done virtually through Zoom.
Okay, well, talking about breath work, I was actually looking into my relaxators. I don't know if anyone has seen this one, the relaxator. Basically, you set it up on your mouth. Have you seen it, Amy, before?
I actually have one of those.
You have one. How do you like it?
I'll be honest, I actually don't like them.
Okay.
Because what it does is it actually causes people to increase the fight or flight tension in their body.
Oh.
Because of how it has you have your mouth, it makes a pursed lip breathing, which actually keeps pressure in your chest, which makes it hard for you to relax. So that it also gives too much resistance for people, especially learning how to do it. Instead, I have people use a plain old simple plastic or a paper straw.
Oh,
and
okay.
Instead, much cheaper, and you can get them anywhere. You can have them all over your house. And if you blow out through a straw, you have an O shape in your mouth, which helps you create the rounded cylinder of your rib cage. And it helps you, yep, just like you have there. And I even teach people to blow bubbles too in water using a straw, because your rib cage gets back down into a cylinder, which is ideally the best position and posture that you can have for your body, is getting your rib cage in that cylinder and not to purse your lips and create pressure. So for the purposes for getting people out of pain and stress and anxiety and out of surgeries, you use something as simple as a straw.
Okay, that's interesting. What is about the paper technique that you were talking? How is that technique?
This PABR method. Well, so what we work.
You said that you use a paper?
A paper straw. You just use a straw, any straw, whether it's paper or plastic.
Okay,
yes.
Okay, just a straw. All right. Yeah, well, I use a relaxator. I teach meditation, right? So I guess I have a little bit more awareness of how to breathe. But I guess because it anchors me, like, okay, I'm about the relaxator and I'm gonna practice the breath and just exhaling for a long time. I like the relaxator just because it helps me to lengthen my exhalations. Sometimes I feel like I forget how long the exhalation can go. So basically that's pretty much what I use it for. But yeah, interesting. I haven't done the practice with the straw, but I drink water with a straw because it's my secret to drink 3 liters of water a day. So be careful when you're drinking cocktails and a straw, because you want to drink 2 or 3 cocktails so much fast. So I just use a straw because it helps me to drink more water. But now I'm going to practice to do the bubbles.
Yes. If you blow out and blow bubbles into a glass of water and you drop your chest down and let your belly come out, all of a sudden you can start to feel a relaxation. Okay. So normally we're not used to letting our belly come out as we exhale, but when you do that, it's a whole new game for your body and your health. It truly helps you release stored tension, emotion, stress, all of that.
Okay, so why don't we just actually go deeper into one question that somebody asked me, was how our body position and the way that we breathe contribute to pain in our bodies?
Sure. So if you think about what we're taught from very little, we're taught chest out, shoulders back, suck up your gut to create this perfect posture. When you do that, you effectively tip your rib cage back. So if you lift up your front ribs to throw out your chest, you tip your rib cage back. And what that does is it causes your back muscles to kick in more, which then crunches on that fight or flight nervous system that lies in your back. When that happens, that creates extra tone in your muscles, and your muscles tighten up. The bad part of that is then you have muscles that are tightening up without your awareness. And when you lift up your ribs in front to throw out your chest, it actually decreases a lot of space in the joints throughout your body. So, and it also changes your breathing pattern to a fight or flight breathing, which becomes a problem. If you have fight or flight breathing, you're going to have muscles that tighten up without your awareness. And then when the muscles tighten up on joints that now have less space, that creates pain.
Okay.
And what typically happens is people will have some type of stressful event. They go to sleep. The next morning, they wake up. All of a sudden, they have pain and they have no idea what happened. And they're like, well, I was stressed about, my job, my boss being mad at me or whatever. and they develop pain. It's because the muscles tightened up in response to the stress. The rib cage was out of position because their posture was off, and now they have tightness that compresses on tissues. You get pain. So you can get out of it by changing your rib cage position and the way you breathe.
Okay, so the first thing is to be aware of the rib cage position. So you
Yes.
are talking that when we actually tense our rib cage, our pelvic creates like anterior pelvic tip.
Yes, yes. When we lift up the front of your ribs, everyone can do it. When you suck up your gut and lift up your chest to push it out and pull your shoulders back, your pelvis tips forward, anteriorly tips in response to that, so you don't fall over backwards. That's not a good thing because it decreases space in your hip joints. It also changes the mechanics all the way down to your toes and the mechanics all the way up to your head.
So what should we do instead?
So instead, we want to keep our front ribs down and in neutral. And a lot of times people, in order to do that, they have to let their belly button go to learn how to drop their ribs down in front and learn how to use their side abs to hold their ribs in neutral. That then changes your breathing mechanics so you're more likely able to use your diaphragm instead of using your belly to breathe, instead of using your rib cage to breathe. We actually want to get the belly out of it and the rib cage out of it and use the diaphragm. And so it helps orient so that you can use your diaphragm better when your front ribs are down.
I mean, as you are explaining this, I just imagining myself. It's like constantly breathing, and I teach yoga. So I wanted to know if anyone that is listening to this and it wants to start practicing a proper way of breathing, what is the best way to practice? Like standing, laying down, like in Shavasana, like when we are just laying on the floor, and maybe sitting. What would be the best way to become aware of our rib cage position, our pelvic?
Yeah. So I usually start people with sitting. It's a safe way. It's what position that you can relax in. So I get a chair with the back to it that has a slight tilt backwards in the back of the chair. Sit on the chair with your back all the way into the back of the chair. Do not put any lumbar support. Lumbar support is just going to increase your sympathetic tone, increase your fight or flight. So get rid of the lumbar support, let your low back relax, tuck your tailbone under a little bit, kind of like a dog's in trouble. And then have your feet flat on the ground. If you look at your knees should be at the height of your hips or slightly higher. If they're lower than your hips, you need to put something under the chair or under your feet or lower your chair. That's so critical to getting you to relax. And then in that position, you can start to go through a specific breathing process that I teach. And you can work on calming yourself down and feeling your ribs drop down, your belly come out as you exhale.
Okay, and this practice on seated position will be the best to start, and then you can do the same thing standing or laying down.
Right. So I teach people lying down on their sides, on their hands and knees, standing. Now, there is a process to it to get into the body in the correct position to be able to feel the full release in standing and on your hands and knees. So we're always looking at not just doing the breathing, but how to change your body position and posture so that you get the correct breathing mechanics. That's the key. There is so much breath work out there, and it's great. It does great and wonderful things. But if we want to truly release some of the fight or flight tension, we have to get the body in the correct position first.
Okay. Oh, wow. We can go so much deeper into this because there is a lot of other mechanisms that are actually activated, and we have to understand all this. But for now, I guess we could take the time to practice a little bit of what we just learned, and then perhaps next week learn new things. So thank you so much, Amy, for all your pieces and details of what you just said. There is so much to practice. I'm going to practice seated, as you say. I'm going to try to make sure that my knees are aligned to my hips and try to make sure that my back is nice and straight without making any effort, just breathing consciously, and perhaps trying to use the straw technique. I never done that, blowing the bubbles. Do you think 5 minutes will be enough to regulate my nerve system, or should I do it for longer?
So initially, as you're first learning, sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but after I've gone through a full session with someone one-on-one, I'll give them instructions to do it for 5 minutes, morning, noon, night, and then before bed.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's just start with 5 minutes. Why not? Amy, where can we find you? And like, can we find you in a website, in Instagram? What's the best way to find you?
Absolutely. You can look me up, Dr. Amy Novotny, on all the social media, but best way to find me is on the website, PABRinstitute.com, PABRinstitute.com, or even send me an email, amy@PABRinstitute.com, if you want some free resources or even to do a free consultation. We can set that up.
Okay, Amy, thank you so much for your precious time to share all this information that is critical for us to keep our nerve system controlled and relaxed, especially now that we have so many unexpected things happening. You know, you are here and we are not alone. We're here together, working together. So thank you so much for your attention. Thank you so much, guys, for all the comments. Remember that together we are stronger.
We invite you to subscribe to this channel and share with your community. Please leave comments below, and if you like the episode, click the like button. Have a beautiful day.